little bit of a structure that I want to propose for you guys to use, and then we'll just go from there. Sounds good? So I want to do a very quick poll on how many folks in the room actually have business ideas they want to talk about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Will you guys do me a favor? Would you all please come down over here? Perfect. And just another quick question. How many of the folks in here are pure developers looking for something really exciting to work? You got 3. Oh my God, fight is on. 23. All right. How many here are more of a user interface designer, more front-end kind of work? How many of the folks who want to do that? All right, you're short of UI designer folks here. What is everybody else is trying to accomplish? Anybody else who's not a developer, who doesn't have a business idea, what are you looking for? You're a front-end developer? Excellent. What else? What are we doing? What do we do?
I'm a developer.
You're a developer? Okay, excellent. Well, is there anybody else to speak about what they want to achieve today here?
I'm not a developer, I'm a CEO.
Oh, that's good. Investor. Investor. Perfect. Oh, so we got the money there. That's awesome. Excellent. So this is what we'll do.
That's a good idea, right? You leave it in late, this is the idea.
Oh, if you have an idea what to present, you can just come stand over here real quick. Okay, so one of the reasons I decided to host this session is I'm new to the startup scene, and in the last 2 years I had a very, very, very tough time really finding a co-founder, someone who can look at my idea and tell me this is freaking impossible for me to think about it, or this is reasonably doable, so that it can help me out and do it for lower cost. So I think it is very important for us as we think about ideas to talk to people who can actually validate our idea in some way, help us shape it, and actually do something with it so we can take it to the market, do some testing, get people's reviews on it, and really pivot off of what we learn. So that's the primary reason I wanted to do it, because this wasn't done for me, it was very, very hard. So I wanted to do something for the folks who are probably hopefully in some of this situation. I also thought it's not only that I once in a while need help in like shaping my idea better, but after 2 or 3 weeks of thinking about it, I kind of get bored. So it's very good to go talk to people over and over again. So one of the things we're going to do coming out of today's meeting is everybody who's successful in finding some co-founders, we will host a monthly happy hour where all of the teams can get together and start talking about where they are with their ideas, what are their struggles, what are they working on, if they can help each other out in the process, that was really great. So that's kind of what we're going to go for. The other very beneficial thing, by the way, before I jump into it, how many of the people in this room know Project Skyway? Everybody knows it. Excellent, excellent. So Project Skyway, we got Jim, we got Casey Allen. Casey Allen is going to come up here and speak in a minute. But they've been very gracious, and they realize there is more that is needed to really support a business idea from pure ideation to really do something with it. And that is really mentoring. So what we also have on the table is for the folks who actually put together teams, when we meet for a happy hour monthly, we'll actually have the CEOs or ex-CEOs from Project Skyway sitting in there, so you can actually bump your ideas off of them. Ask them, hey, what did you guys do when I was having a hard time working with a developer? What did you do when I couldn't find the next way after this point? Where do we go from here? There's a lot of good mentoring available to you guys. And I think if you connect the dots, it actually helps you make your ideas so strong that you actually can be in front of Project Skyway when they're selected for the company. So you can always go for that one. So in terms of structure, here's one thing I want to do, because I want this to be very, very productive and pardon me, but I'm an overly structured guy. So I have a couple of questions that I want you guys to address, especially the presenters. When you're here, try to get a couple of these questions. And everybody else, if you have questions, let's try not to shoot down the ideas of the people who are standing here. Jot down your questions. We have chairs set up all over the room where the idea guys and the founders would go and sit, and you will have your time to go sit with them, ask your questions directly, get to know them a little bit more, and get answers to whatever questions you have. While folks are presenting here, we have very little time, they will all have only 3 minutes to present their ideas. Jot down your questions and ask them when you're sitting in your chair. So this is what I want these presenters to do. So, speak a little bit about who you are, definitely talk about the problems you're trying to solve, touch upon who are your customers, definitely fully articulate to the audience what you're looking for. So if you are a business development guy, you're looking for user interface designer, you're looking for a developer, any particular language you're trying to address, I don't want to work with Python or blah, blah, whatever it is, so that folks know exactly what you're looking for, so they know if they're right fit or not. Because there's not a lot of interviewing going on, as much as we can be, will be really helpful for everybody else. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, perfect. What I will do is after every 3 minutes, I will ring a bell. I'll let you know 3 minutes over. You can go and sit in one of the chairs, and then we'll have the tools done here. Make sense? Okay. So at this point, anybody else have any questions so far? Everything is clear?
Suggestion, start with the problem you're trying to solve, because it's really just one thing, because they can't get rid of it. That's one thing.
Very important. And at that point, I'll let you do. Why don't you come over here and say the same thing to the entire group? Come on over. Guys, Tracy Allen from Project Skyway.
Thank you. Just real quick, the reason why I'm so excited about what he's doing is that this is actually one of these rare sessions that actually leads to something else. And I hope that this is a springboard to lots and lots of meetings and friendships and bouncing of ideas off each other. Hopefully for some of you guys, maybe some of you guys, the first time you have found somebody just like you, somebody that thinks like you, and dreams like you, and it's like a magically done. So first of all, I'm giving Matt the opportunity to thank him in the first place. And I hope that this leads to something very cool for some of you or some of you, some friendships, some new associations, something that leads to something else. Real quick, the things that I see the most, I want to leave you with a couple of ideas about co-founding. Two things. Number one is it takes months. It does not take days or weeks. Nobody says today I'm going to go out and find a co-founder. Something takes a long time, much longer than you think, much longer than TechCrunch makes it sound like. When you need to find somebody that you can build something together with, it takes a while. So I don't want you guys to ever think that when I'm starting my next big thing, I'm going to be able to find something now and ink a contract next week and we're off to the races to build the next Facebook. It never happens. And if it does happen, it's going to be a catastrophe in 6 months. It takes months, it doesn't take days or weeks. And number two, don't even think about ever starting a company without talking to an attorney. There's 3 things you never want to do. FIP, taking money from an investor, and then start a company with somebody. So I see these mistakes, just want to share that with you. Something I wish somebody shared with me a very long time ago was those 3 things. But more importantly, take advantage of this. This is there's all kinds of locked up potential here, and it's entirely what you make of it. And if you are a person with an idea, or you like some of these ideas, or maybe neither of those are true, but you want to keep putting yourself in a position where one can happen, then keep in the loop of this and participate. And my guess is that down the road you're going to find some pretty cool people you're going to want to do stuff with.
Cool. Awesome. Well, guys, let's get the party started. I will have one of you guys come over here. Once you're done with the presentation, this stuff I get email from there. Sounds good? Go for it.
My name is Sam Morrison with Jatinder LLC, and 90% of you people have no interest in what I do. Sounding out really bad, but see, what we do is we're developing some hardware that works with smartphones. That's the good news. People that are doing stuff with application development for smartphones, that's a good thing. This box here collects data on just about everything. It's got a very smart little computer in the thing, stores gigabytes of data, and sends the data over to a smartphone. What we want to do is we want to manufacture this thing, probably initially here to begin with. When we start making 1 million of them, we'll probably have some Chinese people do it. But really what our fundamental need right now is the test and measurement market is about a $3 billion a year market. This is where this naturally fits into. What we want to do is we want to come up with a simple way for somebody to collect information on stuff. It has sensors that for moisture, for pressure, for light, for temperature, for any number of sort of things you can plug into the thing. We need to get the word out initially to the hobbyist community and really kind of grow it a little bit more to more of a broader base of people. Where somebody might, the goal would be this is something that you might actually keep in your toolkit. You pull out, hey, I want to see whether or not my sprinklers are measuring, or putting moisture throughout my yard glass. You go around with a moisture probe and you check things out. Something that could have multiple purposes that can be used by general people. What we want to do is really kind of work on a marketing strategy to kind of start off with the hobbyist community and kind of grow up into more of a broader based community. Another type of person I need too is somebody that can assist with operations, that can help optimize the development and the cost of these products, help with the distribution, work with vendors to get parts, and also possibly somebody that can work in the development field that has a lot of experience with business to business, maybe even technical marketing.
Right.
That's kind of what you meant there in terms of saying expressing your product?
No, you didn't.
You're thinking about the need
You didn't
to
say the
market?
problem at the very beginning. What problem are you solving?
The problem we're solving with this is really just having something that people can use to collect data with. That's something that's easily usable, where you don't need to have a technical degree to use the market that we're going to. Good.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Can you come over here? Just give me another. Go for it.
All right. My name is Nathan, and the problem I see is that ratings and reviews are broken. And I see this as being a twofold problem. One, I see when you want to review something, whether it's, let's just use Yelp as an example, most people know about that. You can't actually review a restaurant or anything on there and have it go live on the site. You can draft one, then you get to go back to your house and write the rest of the review and submit it. I want to make reviewing something or rating something as easy as 1, 2, 3. Basically what Twitter did for the blog post. Twitter took the blog post, shrunk it down to 140 characters, made it easy. So I want to make it quick, fast, easy on a mobile device to rate things. The second problem is what I call the tyranny of positivity. And that is what I call things like the Google +1 or the Facebook like button, where there's a binary choice. You either like it or you don't. There's no scale for what you think about that. And I want to bring like a positive, neutral, negative scale thing and make that easy to use. So let me give you an example. I was at AMC theaters and there were a bunch of kids texting in front of me, which is going to happen. But it took me out of the movie and it was annoying. I could have tracked down the manager, spent 10 minutes talking to him maybe, and maybe gotten a free movie. But really, all I wanted to do is tell AMC, I had a bad experience, and make that quick and easy. AMC could really benefit from that kind of information, and so I see this as a triple win. You as the user or consumer can quickly give your feedback. The public can use that information to make better decisions, and companies can use data and metrics coming from more data because it's easier to do a review and improve their business. So that's it.
What do you need?
I need a technical co-founder, and then after that I'm going to need money. Thanks. I'll be in the corner.
Next up, Kevin.
Is this on now? Oh, it's on. Well, my name is Kevin Treemstra, and I started a site called the Minneapolis Biomass Exchange. This is a renewable energy concept. Our goal is to help allow a biomass trade to occur. It's an exchange platform. We help reduce the inefficiencies in the supply chain. And so the feedstocks that we deal in are wood chips, wood pellets, corn stalks, others. It's a new, growing, emerging industry. It's big in Europe, and it's becoming bigger here in the U.S. And lots going on in the northeast U.S., lots going on in the southeast U.S., and then here in the Midwest, we're growing a little bit slower, but it's going to be all ag residues here. And you provide them for biopower installations and convert them into pellets and sell them from there. The problem is that this is an emerging marketplace. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the supply chain, and we're just trying to make that supply chain more efficient through technology tools online. So I'm looking for technology co-founders. So the site has been running. We have 500 industrial users, which is pretty good for a industrial site that's not social media. We have users in 25 countries that have had some interest. But now I'm looking for, so even though we've been running for a bit, I'm still looking for somebody who could have that co-founder role in marketing to help us market and support the site, and also in technology. So I'm a software programmer, I suppose you could say, but I'm moving more into business, marketing. I'm speaking at conferences. I'm talking to investors, and really looking to have a guru who can take over that role. And it's written in Ruby on Rails. We do a little bit in Java and a little bit in Python, but it's really Ruby on Rails on the technology side. And then there's a lot to do in marketing. I mean, there's just a lot we need to support there. So our big service is coming out Q2, and really ramping up services, and really looking for a strong co-founding team to help shape this and make it go.
Hi, my name is Eduardo Drake, and the problem that I want to address is disconnection in the world, disconnection that occurs in communities of people where people don't know each other's names. You show up at an event, maybe it's a recurring event, for example, church, or a health club, or other community gathering. You maybe know 5 or 10 people there, but there could be 10, scores, hundreds of other people there that you don't know, that you probably have seen time after time after time. And maybe at some point, you know, some of them were introduced to you, but you've forgotten their name. So I've started freenamebadges.com to solve that problem, to distribute name badges across the globe at community gatherings so that people can know who they're talking to and so that people can know who they are. Because we all forget people's names, and we've all had those experiences where we don't want to talk to someone because we're ashamed that we forgot their name. That breaks down community, that breaks down that sense of belonging, and when you don't feel like you belong, then you really can feel powerless. So I'm about empowering people by having them be known. Freenamebadges.com, we're going to give away self-adhesive name badges to churches, our target market. We're going to put coupons on the back of the badges. The peel-off part that you normally throw away as trash will now be converted into treasure, a currency that people will want to keep. An example coupon could be a Starbucks or Caribou, a Best Buy, any multi-outlet retailer. It could be a local businesses around the church or community gathering that's geographically centered. There'll also be a QR code on the back, on the peel-off portion. I have a prototype that I've made up here. The QR code will take you to a website. You make any purchases on that website, commission will be earned by the host organization. So, for example, a church could earn revenue to support its operations, support particular causes, Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, any type of reoccurring event where you have gatherings of people that don't know each other and really you want to build tighter community. I am looking for someone who's passionate about community and the value that people can make and have a passion for the difference that people can make when they feel like they belong and they're connected to people in very powerful ways. I need people who are connected into churches, into other large organizations that have regular community gatherings, that are, I need web developers to build out a website to help distribute this product across the globe, primarily in the U.S. to start with. I need people who understand coupons and affiliate marketing, those types of things. Did I leave anything out, Casey? Thank you.
I feel like Britney Spears. Who thinks Nathan's a genius about the review stuff, by the way? Who thinks review sites are broken? I'm not going to use this. Raise your hand. Well, you're not alone. What I found in my research is Yelp. You go on Yelp. You can review Yelp. I don't know if you guys know that. Guess what they're rated? 3 stars. So the more we told you that review sites are broken, it's a huge problem. Businesses need to connect with people that use their products as fast as they can, get them in their sales process. What happens is
I'm Don Kelly. Sam said, hey, you have an idea, get over there. And the idea he heard this morning is different than the idea that I'm going to talk about now, because hopefully we've already got people all fired up about that one. I've been thinking for a while about the problem that people that aren't English speakers have when they shop in our stores, and kind of focusing my thoughts on grocery stores. So I thought it would be kind of nice if everything came with a label in every possible language that somebody could be coming into the store with. And they can't, because every product in the store has a UPC code that says this is what's in the can. And so most of the people we know have smartphones, and we can scan that UPC code, and it tells you in English what's in there and little else. Sometimes you can go to a site and it'll tell you where you can find it cheaper. So what I would like to do is develop a database of the grocery products and provide the information in the shopper's language. So we know who the shopper is. They scan it. We provide the information in the shopper's language. We provide the nutritional information in the shopper's language. And then we also know that the shopper has somebody in the family that's allergic to tree nuts. And so there's a little red flash up there that says this thing's produced in a plant that has exposure to tree nuts. And of course, there's some opportunities for little advertising and cross-advertising. There's nothing really challenging about this except for the scale. And as a result, one of the things that I need is some money to help with development. We need a back-end developer who's going to deal with database issues. We need someone that's going to work with the mobile application. And some help with the translation. All these people are available, of course. It's just a matter of putting it all together. I've developed software projects for about 40 years. And this is one that I hope to be one of my next ones. And I will sit over here. Thanks. Oh, by the way, I have an association with grocery manufacturers and retailers that should help getting the project rolling. So.
I got it. Cool. So basically, we make mentorship easy and accessible for everyone. And how this got started is I'm a chiropractor by trade. And I had a question, and I didn't know where to go with my question. I needed some advice from somebody that was in the field a little bit longer than me, somebody that could explain the business idea, which I had, or whatnot, in his terms or her terms. So that's why I created this site, is that I needed a mentor, and I didn't know where to go. So my site will allow anybody and everybody to find a mentor that they need in their specific field. And I am currently looking for a CTO. I've developed a wireframe on the project, and I'm currently looking right now for a CTO. So anybody that's interested, free chiropractic if you're my CTO. And I know you'll be needing it.
It's a great idea. My name is Roger Peters. The problem that I want to solve is working together. When you're at work, you work with a group of 3 to 10 people, typically very close. And you want to share files, you want to share projects, you want to share email accounts, you want to chat, you want to comment on items back and forth, you want to collaborate, and the problem is right now you can use Gmail and Box.net and Dropbox and upload your data to these project management sites. Well, what we want to do is create a single software solution for business where you have a built-in, I don't know if you guys remember back in the days where you had a copier and you had a fax machine, and you had a printer, and you had all these different devices, a scanner, they're all separate. Well, we want to put all of the data that a business uses, calendar, chat, emails, files, contacts, notes, URLs, all of the data that you use, put it all together and build it around collaboration. So if I want to share something to somebody, I just drag it over to this little user list on the right, whether it's an item, whether it's a folder, whether it's a whole project, whether it's an email account, I just say, here, I want to give this to you. Once they get it, then you can comment back and forth on it. And allow for users to, our motto is we make working together less work. So the problem we want to solve is just working together. Just make it seamless, the seamless sharing of data back and forth, so you're not using 10 different programs, and you just use one single program to connect with your employees. And what I need is money. I've already started this. I've got 4 full-time developers, and I've been bootstrapping it. I just need an investor who sees the vision. So think of it as like Facebook for business, or think of it as the Facebook collaboration over data. I got a whole project or a whole folder tree of data that I want to share over to somebody. I just drag and drop it, and then they get it. We have a conditional approval from the patent office for synchronization. So if you've got a list, and I'm looking at that same list, I've shared a folder to you, and my coworker Jerry's got that same list. If I add an item to that list, we send a message to the server updates his list. We've got a provisional patent for that. We've got approval for that. So it's pretty powerful IP protection. Google does that with Google Docs, so they'll be getting a letter from us. So we've got provisional approval for the patent, so that's it. I'm just looking for money. I've already got one.
Hi, my name's Steve Uman, and I have a problem that I actually lived through. I got married last August, so around this time... I'm still married too, so I guess I'm not past that. No, not yet. So in the process of planning the wedding, around... That's fine. I'll tell my wife about this as soon as I get home. So in the process of planning the wedding, around last year at this time, my wife from Chicago says, where do we want to have it? I said, well, you're in Chicago, figure it out, right? So then she went about to figure out where this wedding was going to be. That was the problem. Where is the wedding going to be, and where is the reception hall going to be held? We have at least 500 people. We have religious requirements. We have dietary restrictions. We have a budget. Where are those 2 venues going to match up on the date that are potential for us, for our pastor, and for our parents? How do we do that? That's the problem. Right now, if you go to any of the existing websites, you are bombarded with information, text, pictures, and advertisements that don't give you any possible way to identify, based upon your personalized filter criteria, when you can legitimately hold your wedding on your budget. That's the problem. The solution we have is a website that we're creating. We're in the first phase of development, which will basically take your filter requirements. So if you want an example, think kayak. There's a bunch of filter requirements on the left side for your wedding. And through that process, then hopefully we'll be able to narrow down through search criteria your venue for your wedding and the reception hall if it's at a different location, and provide you what's on the table. Then by working with the vendors, hopefully we can get some more information on pricing strategies, pictures of the locations and whatnot. You can kind of see where it'll go from there. What we need investment to take us through phase 1 on as we roll it out with more functionality to provide our users a better experience. Also looking for a marketing strategy. There's 2 definite customers, as you can see under the model. One is the vendor, our venues, and what they're bringing to the table. Then it's the users, the ones that are going from place to place and trying to identify where they're going. To kind of give you an example, my fiance would drive up and down the blocks looking for a church in Chicago, trying to find one that she thought was big enough. Then she would walk in and see if the sanctuary was big enough to hold our wedding. Then she would have to find someone to find out if our pastor could do the wedding if we weren't part of that denomination. That's the problem. So what we're looking for is a marketing strategy, a business strategy of what's the best way to connect with these different faiths, with these different venues, and then also how do we best reach our specific users.
Thank you very much. So we had a total of 9 presentations. We thought we were going to have 5, so we clearly are behind time here. So what I would encourage everyone to do right now is, as you can see, there are chairs around everyone who presented. So get up and talk to each of these companies, ask your questions away, and then after every 3 minutes or so, I will let everyone know 3 minutes are over so you can jump around and talk to other companies. So let's get started. Let's do it.